What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode. Hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and share the video. Hit the join button and become a member. Why? Well, members get exclusive content. Hit the bell icon on my channel so that you'll receive a notification every time that I drop a video. You can go and check the video out, leave a comment, and like the video. If you support me, support the content, support the channel, support the Stay Free People movement, the Go Up movement. Let's get into it. Part 2 of the war that brewed and transpired between the Black P-Stones and the Harlems. Now again, the Harlem young cat had came to court looking for the smoke. He received it. The dude from BPS had tried to essentially turn it down. And at least for the moment, he said, let's take care of it later on. I'm trying to go to court and take care of this. The dude from Harlem, again, he pressed the issue. Finally, dude had enough and he knocked him down. Now, the blacks in there did pick the dude from Harlem up eventually. He's down there on the ground. They came to try to get him up. He had woke up. The ground had woke him up, as I alluded to before. However, he's still dazed and out in his eyes and the back of his head and all that. He's bleeding. He's hurt. They pick him up, set him on a bench. When they come and get him from court, he can't move. And they realize the police, something's going on. Someone asked, so they just let an innocent man go down for it. When I said the police came in and took someone else, well, they let him go. And yes, no one is really going to confess to it. The dude who they come and get is just going to have to find his way, work his way out of the situation. Again, as I said in one of my earlier videos, one of the homies was unalive for a similar situation, or at least the beginnings of what led to his unaliving were similar, in that they wanted one of the young homies to come and take the rap for a knife. But this knife wasn't even his, so that's the difference. The dude that had actually knocked the dude from Harlem out, he was there and could have said, no, man, it was me. And sometimes people would do that. But in this case, he didn't. And no one was going to fault him for that either. Like, that's just the way it is. But the Harlems, well, again, they are perturbed, to say the least. They are uneasy. Word is out, essentially, in the entire county jail. Now, this is not necessarily front page news. It's not breaking news, because this sort of thing happens every day in the Los Angeles County Jail. All sorts of hoods are warring and fighting and stabbing one another constantly on a daily basis. So the dude from Harlem getting knocked out, well, it's not front page news, but it had a little element to it because he was knocked out before he hit the ground, and his head, the back of his head hit the ground, and it was leaking, and now he's in the hospital. So the word is out about that. And knowing that the two factions that are involved in this are very deep and are known for being stand-up groups, stand-up gangs. So everyone knows that it's not just about the end right there. And everyone was right. Finally, the Harlems, well, they are getting antsy. They're becoming impatient because people are now beginning to ask, well, when are the Harlems going to respond? We know that they are. Well, the Harlems are just saying that to that point, they have been unable to catch a BPS in the visionary or going to medical or in the court lines or whatever. They haven't caught one. So that's why they have not been able to respond. They're saying that's the only holdup. Finally, being impatient and tired of people talking about it, they hatched and devised a plan. Was it ill-advised? You tell me. Well, about 10 of them, 10 Harlem Crips, decided to go to the Blood module, where the Bloods habitate, where they live. It's always dangerous. I believe that the person who lives there has the advantage. If you go to someone's home on the street, they have the advantage because they're there every day. They know where everything is at. Everything there is foreign to you. You don't live there. So when you go into someone else's module, they have an arsenal of weapons there. If it's their module, they know what cells the weapons are in, what day rooms they're in, where they're stashed at. You're taking a risk. But the Harlems, well, they had weapons as well. 5 or 6 of them did. They were carrying them. And they banded together and they went up the escalator to go to where the Bloods were habitating. And they said that they were going to go in and launch an attack, point blank, that there were not going to be the whole module of Bloods out. That's impossible. It's going to be 7 or 8, 9, 10 of them out, maybe in a day room or what have you. And they're going to just go in there and start swinging their knives. But they incurred a colossal, a monumental problem heading up the escalator, heading towards the module with nefarious intentions. Well, the police came out of the booth and they pulled them over and said, "Where the hell y'all think y'all going?" I don't know how they had not anticipated this. The police said, "We don't recognize y'all as being in the module that y'all heading towards or on this floor even. What's up?" Y'all all have sinister looks on your face. Now, a couple of them knew one of the black deputies that had pulled them over. And he let 2 of them go on by and keep on walking towards the module. Say, "I recognize him, and I recognize him, y'all go. Who are you other guys?" And hemmed up the other 8. But out of the other 8, one of them knew the deputies as well and told them, "Man, we were just coming up here to holler at the homie that just pulled up." And they said, "No, man, y'all can't do that. This ain't a good time. Go back." And they let them go and told them to go back to the module. They were very fortunate, particularly back then in 1999, 1998 in the Los Angeles County Jail, where the deputies were known for still, at that time, beating people up, planting evidence, etc. They could have easily pulled them over and searched them. Again, 5 or 6 of them had weapons. And they would have went to the hole and caught a case, etc. However, they were fortunate and they were just let go. But now this puts the 2 Harlems that went through the barricade, the checkpoint, in a quandary. Hell, puts them and their very lives in danger because they can't turn back now. They're heading towards the Blood module with no weapons. The weapons have been turned around. What to do? They have to keep going and go through with the plan. They can't turn around now. The police is going to know the whole thing was a ploy, a ruse. Something very suspicious is going on. So they had to carry on. Luckily for them, on their way to the Blood module, heading down the floor, right before they get to the door, a Blood, he's coming out of the module by himself, heading perhaps to medical, visiting, wherever. The 2 dudes from Harlem, well, they recognize him. They look at each other and say, "We got one. We can escape with our reputations and take care of business right here. Because if we go inside of the module, we're going to be chopped liver, minced meat." So the Blood, he recognizes them too, I'm sure. But he doesn't turn around. I'm sure he knows what they're there for. The Bloods know what's going on, that the Harlems have put the word out that they want war, that in fact they have declared war and that it is on site with any BPS that they see. The Bloods' position is that they did nothing wrong, that their homeboy, when he got him on the ground and had knocked him out, he could have stumped him out, he could have finished him, but he just left him alone at that point. In fact, he was trying to leave it alone from the beginning and just go into court. But the dude pressed the issue. It just so happens that he lost the fight. He got Mike Tyson knocked out. It was bad. I can understand both sides' position. Well, the Damo was coming towards the 2 dudes from Harlem, and they attacked him right there on the floor. it didn't last long because they had just got by the police. So the police are still hovering around the area. And when they see the attack, the police, they run over there. By the time the police ran over there, they had a dude from BPS on the ground. But before they had got him on the ground, he was fighting back. In fact, the dude from Harlem, one of them, he was lumped up. He was squabbling back. But eventually, they overpowered him. But they didn't have a chance to stump him out or anything like that because the police was upon them rather rapidly. Well, now the BPSs and the Bloods in particular, they're upset now. They too are pissed. They got word that all of them had tried to come into the module and pull off a coup d'etat. They said, okay, that's how they want to play. The war is on and it's on site. Well, just a few days later, there in the vision area, it was 2 BPSs and 1 neighborhood 20 Blood. They are allies. They are together. They caught a dude from Harlem there with his baby mother, just talking to her, asking, where's the letter? How come you haven't been writing me? He's trying to square things away with his family. They didn't care. They attacked him. They approached from behind, right there. Now, in the county jail, the visiting area, the visits are behind the glass. The civilians are behind the glass. So they were not in any sort of danger. You cannot get to them. You cannot touch them. But everyone else was there. All of the incarcerated people. And just, it's rare that things kick off in the visiting area. It has happened though, but it's rare because people's families are there and no one really wants to see all of that. But in this case, the war was on and it was on site. So everyone that was there in the visiting area, they had a front row seat. Because the two guys from BPS and the 1 dude from 20s, they approached and they attacked him from the back. They didn't care. And his baby mama started screaming. And the dude was trying to fight back. And then, fortunate for him, there was another Crip there. He was from Compton. The young homie from Nutty Block had a little size, had a little fade. He was a strong dude. And he jumped up and he helped the dude from Harlem. He really had nothing to do with it as far as, the Harlem and BPS beef, but he couldn't really just sit back, I guess, their politics, and let a Crip get jumped by 3 dudes. Regardless of where the Crip is from, he's a Crip, and he does nothing, and he's sitting right there. He may have to answer a few questions about that. I don't know. So either way, he jumped up and he helped, and the squabble lasted for a little while, but it was a 3-on-2, 3-on-1 for a minute, till the dude from Compton realized what was going on, that it was a Crip that was being attacked. Then again, he did jump up and assist. And all of them went to the hole for a little while, and then they went back to their modules. A couple of more incidents happened after that, and then they didn't necessarily call it truce, but they just said as far as the war, as far as it being on site, and us coming to y'all module and getting down in the visiting area and all this, we ain't gonna be doing all that. But we catch it, we get in a situation where we can squabble up, and the court tanks and all that, we gonna continue to squabble up. And that's what they did. Hell, it continues to this day. And coming up, I'm going to take you back to the Los Angeles County Jail. But this time, the blacks, they attacked the whites. It was for a reason, though. They attacked the whites, and it was vicious. It was ugly. The whites are not that deep. And the blacks didn't give a damn. They wanted revenge, and I'll tell you why. Stay free, people!